Welcome to another bonus edition of Upon Further Review.
Upon further review,
And in this edition, we'll be talking about the Cleveland Browns going to Tennessee to face the Titans. This Week 5 matchup will be on Sunday, October 5th at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, and you can catch that on your local CBS affiliates. So the Browns are going to Tennessee. Both these teams are below 500. The Browns are 1-2. They had a bye week last week. The Titans are 1-3 last week. They lost their third game. They started off with that impressive victory in Arrowhead against the Chiefs in Week 1, but then they hosted the Cowboys in Week 2 and they lost. Then they went to Cincinnati and they lost. And they went to Indianapolis and they lost. So 3 out of their 4 games they played so far in the month of September were all on the road, but now we're in October and they've got 3 home games in October and just 1 road game this month. And that all starts off with Cleveland coming into Tennessee here in Week 5. They've got actually a stretch here where you almost, if you're a Titans fan, you're going to be rooting for them to get back to 500 in the next couple weeks. It's possible with, Cleveland coming to town this week, Jacksonville coming to town next week, and then they go to Washington. So you never know, the Titans could turn this around, but it starts here with the Browns coming to town, and they really need to get this win. The Browns, though, they start things off in Week 1 in Pittsburgh, and they lost a heartbreaker just by a field goal at the end. So they almost had that game won, but they just narrowly lost it. Then they hosted the Saints, and they beat the Saints in another tight game, a 2-point game, as they were able to pull out the victory and stun a lot of football fans. And then in Week 3, they hosted the Ravens, and they lost another heartbreaker by just 2 points. As they came so close, as you look and see that all the games the Browns have played so far have been within a field goal. If you looked at last year, they were playing a lot of close games where if they had won the games that they lost by 1 possession last season, they would have actually made the playoffs. I think they were 13-3 last year. They would have been 9-7 if they would have won all the games that they lost by 1 possession. And that was back in 2013. But here in 2014, we're seeing that the Browns are a team that's on the verge of being very good. They're competitive for sure. I mean, they're playing everybody so close. They were competitive last year, even though they had a bad record. The record didn't really show how much talent they really have on that team there. And I'll tell you, the new coaching staff is a welcome change. They're much better, I think, than last year's staff. They're coaching the team better anyway. Now they're going to Tennessee, and I think that the Browns can actually get the 500 here, and that's what they need to do. If they can win this game, they'll be in position. They've got a division game next week, but don't want to get ahead of themselves. They got to concentrate on this game right here. Now let's look at the numbers for this game. When it comes to the passing offense, the Browns are 16th in the NFL for passing yards per game, and the Titans are 28th. So in the bottom 5 for passing offenses. So Tennessee struggles to pass the ball. And if you look at the defense, though, the Browns have been struggling to stop the pass. Of course, they've gone up against some pretty high-powered passing attacks. They faced Big Ben in Week 1, and they faced Drew Brees in Week 2, and Joe Flacco in Week 3. The Titans will be a much easier task in terms of, who they're going to be facing there, but they're 27th when it comes to passing yards allowed. So they're actually pretty evenly matched right there in that matchup, the Browns secondary versus the Titans passing game. When it comes to the Titans, though, they're pretty decent at stopping the pass. They're 10th in the NFL. So they actually should be able to contain the Browns passing game pretty well. And that's actually the strength of the Titans team is their secondary, even though they lost one of the stars of their secondary in the offseason, Alteron Burner. But if you look at the running attack of these two teams, the Browns are really good at running the ball, even though Ben Tate hasn't been able to play in the first 3 weeks. He's going to be back, supposed to be anyway, for this week. But even without him, they've been getting some really good performances by Terrence West, Crowell, and some other people as well. But they're number 9 in the NFL when it comes to rushing offense yards per game. The Titans are 17th. So the advantage there, the Browns got a better running game. Of course, we look at the running defenses. Neither team is really good at stopping the run. Browns actually are pretty bad at stopping the run. They're 29th when it comes to run defense. Tennessee is 22nd in run defense. So they both struggle to stop the run, and it's you gotta give the edge though in the running game to the Browns. They're better at running the ball than they are lacking in stopping the run. Tennessee's not that really good at running it. Of course, we'll see as they're getting more carries to Bishop Sankey. See how the rookie does. He's kind of an unknown factor. So if he can have a big game, that'll go a long way towards Tennessee pulling up, the victory there at home. If you look at points scored, the Browns are 13th in the NFL when it comes to points scored per game. The Titans are 30th. So the Titans struggle to score. The Browns are pretty decent in putting up points. Not the best, but they're a lot better than the Tennessee when it comes to points scored. Of course, you look at points allowed. They both struggle to stop teams from getting in the end zone or getting field goals. The Browns are 23rd in the NFL in points allowed, and the Titans are 27th. Definitely the edge goes to the Browns when it comes to points scored. So I fully expect the Browns to pull off the victory. I think they're a much better team than people give them credit for. I think they're very underrated. Tennessee, although they are a team that I think they are heading towards being competitive, they're still like at least a year away from really competing. Even though this league is filled with parity and anybody can win any Sunday, it is possible Tennessee, if they can get some turnovers, then that'll go a long way towards them potentially winning this game. Basically, what they gotta do is they gotta protect the ball, they gotta get some production out of their running game, and keep the ball out of the hands of the Browns offense. If they can do that, then they could win. But I think the Browns will win. It'll be a tight game, but in the end, I think Cleveland pulls this one off. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Very interested to hear your opinions. If you like the show, make sure to hit the like button to let us know. And if you want to hear more of this content, hit the subscribe button. We bring you recaps for each and every single NFL game each and every single week, as well as upon further reviews. That's what you're listening to right now. We do this for each and every single game played each and every single week. We also have a weekly show, The Wedge, where we do quick picks, fantasy football picks. We have a weekly rewind. We do the upon further review for the Thursday night game. We first put that up on The Wedge, and we put it up separate as well. We also are covering the baseball playoffs. We already covered the wild card, the ALDS, and the NLDS as they are ongoing right now. And we'll be covering the ALCS and the NLCS as well as the World Series, so keep an eye out for those. We also do NCAA football recaps of the top 25 teams and upsets. That's not our main focus, but you can check out and see some of those too, because we definitely keep an eye on those up and coming prospects. As our main focus is on pro football, but we are fans of each and every and all sports as it is. So thank you very much for listening. It's greatly appreciated. Hope that you are having a wonderful day. Hope that you have a great weekend. Enjoy all the great sports from all around the world, and especially the baseball and the football, because this is the best time of year to be a football fan and to be a baseball fan.